Did anyone eat popcorn with chocolate inside of it?
For this movie? No, but that's a good idea.
So you're not putting Raisinets, or you are?
I'm putting everything in my popcorn now.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome, isn't it?
Like
Sour Patch Kids?
Literally everything.
So good.
Yeah, my favorite are like anything that's like chocolate though.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite specific thing is anything that's chocolate.
Yeah, but there's so many other things you could put in. Welcome to The Cover, where three Hoosier friends judge books by their covers and movies by their trailers.
That's right. I'm Brett, here with my fellow Indiana natives, Remington and Marcus, ready to dive into the stories that keep us up all night and occasionally put us to sleep.
Whether you're a bookworm, movie buff, or just here for the witty banner, we've got you covered.
Each week, we'll dissect a different book or movie, sharing fun facts, hot takes, and moments that make Marcus cry. Spoiler alert, we're not experts, but we're definitely opinionated.
From literary masterpieces to blockbuster flops, nothing is safe from our snarky reviews and wild tangents. Who knew Hoosiers could be this entertaining?
So grab your popcorn and reading glasses, because we're about to embark on a hilarious journey through the pages and screens that shape our lives. Or at least our weekends.
You're listening to The Cover. Let's get the show on the road before one of our kids wakes up.
I did not play ping pong ever. I don't want to say ever. Let me not speak in hyperbole. Maybe 10 times ever growing up.
Wow.
And Riley, so I'm surprised at your comment, Rem, because I would have thought she was like good. Like had always been good.
I mean, Trev and I played for hours.
Who had the ping pong table?
We did.
You guys did.
So we were really good. And
this was the basement in Muncie?
Yeah. So I don't remember ever playing Riley, to be honest. She probably started playing after. You know what? She dated a guy in high school that was pretty good at ping pong, so that's probably what it was. We played steam pong with him a lot, and he got a lot of welts.
Nice.
Marcus has some sting pong experience. Yeah.
Yeah, in high school I played a lot of ping pong with my girlfriend's brother down in their basement. So I would go over to her house and play ping pong for hours with her brother.
I'm sure she loved that.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably did. So that was fun. And then college, we played sting pong a lot. So that was fun because I was usually on the winning side of that.
Man, we had this kid that could hit it in the exact same spot on your body so many times.
That hurts
It's
so
like
bad.
you didn't have welts all over. You had one single bleeding welt.
That hurts so bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, and like sometimes you're like, hey, at least let me turn around, and the small of your back is even worse.
So the funny part is in college I didn't drink it all, but like my friends did. So, they'd be drinking and they'd want to play sting pong. And then not only was I better than them at ping pong, but they were also drinking. So then I'd hammer them and I'd get them in like the same spot. They'd be like, oh, screaming. So it's pretty fun.
So you played growing up. So me beating Riley is a pretty big deal. You losing to Riley
is just as big of a deal.
Yeah.
That's
really embarrassing.
I mean, I've won against, like, I'd say, like, of all the times you've ever watched me play ping pong, I've probably won like 95% of the time.
Well, I was expecting you to tell me there was a intergalactic Delt trophy for ping pong.
Now
Matthew McConaughey would not have lost
intramural.
Riley.
Wabash College had intramural ping pong, and I played in that, and I lost to the Asians. Yeah, they'll get you every
dude.
time.
Watching ping pong during the Olympics makes you. That's a sport. Like you can watch basketball in the Olympics and convince yourself that, dude, I could hang for, I don't know, 2 possessions and be fine. Ping pong's not happening. They're 10 feet behind the table. It's a full. What?
I'm sorry, Marcus just started counting on his fingers. At some point,
I gotta get it right.
By the way, ping pong, not a great Special Olympics event. It's just not a lot of volleys.
You watched?
Yeah, not a lot of volleys. A lot of serves, very few returns.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, or just one return.
I'm just glad you said return. Welcome to the Cover Podcast. I am your only host.
That's right.
Brett Wiggins. As always, guest to my left.
Stop.
Nope. Oh, wait, wrong movie. Sorry. Get out of here.
Wait,
This is Marcus
reverse
Mangus.
that. Run it back. What's he
Flip
say?
it. Reverse it.
Flip it. Yep. Marcus Mangus, my friend. And sitting to my right, sir.
Remington Ramsey.
He's here. What are we covering tonight, Ram?
Well, Brett, we're covering Get Out.
Remington makes fun of me, by the way, for trying to figure out my 9 words while he's sitting there scrolling through, figuring out which one he's gonna read.
No, it's even worse. I wasn't. I was just sitting here like a pedestrian.
Before you read, so I don't have Peacock. Peacock, does it play all the ads at the beginning
It
and then you
does.
watch it?
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it
Oh.
depends on what Peacock you have. We
Got it.
apparently have the paid one where they play a couple ads and then you watch the whole movie.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
no, no. You do not need the paid one for that. So
Oh, really?
yeah, you pay you pay the smaller amount on
Got it.
Peacock.
So for the basic plan,
For the basic one and any movies, it plays all the ads at the beginning. And then during the shows, you still have to watch commercials like normal. But during the movies, you get to watch the whole movie
that's true.
uninterrupted.
That's true.
It's
That's why
awesome.
I don't watch The Office on Peacock because it
Yeah.
just drives me insane.
But movies, in terms of like movie experience for the ones with ads,
Yeah.
I like Peacock the best.
for shows, I just record everything on YouTube TV.
Yeah.
I just said.
Oh, that's a great idea because then
and
you can
just
fast forward.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I'm not gonna lie, we're watching Get Out, and as usual, we're screening it on silent in the background. The very first scene. So, in preparation, so we turned this movie on, as I told you, in the middle of the day, with all the lights on, because I'm just not a horror movie guy. We watched the first scene, and I can't remember why, but we end up saying we'll watch the rest later. So I'm watching, and I did not realize that the guy that's abducted in the first scene comes back later in the
Yeah.
movie.
You didn't
with
realize that, huh?
I didn't realize it was him. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But so Get Out. We're watching Get Out. A young African American visits his white girlfriend's parents for the weekend, where his simmering uneasiness about the reception of him eventually reaches a boiling point.
Ooh, concise, simple, short, sweet. I'm a fan.
At what point did you know that the girl was in on it?
Dude, I'm an idiot. It's in my notes. I literally put in my notes, you are such an idiot.
But she's a psycho.
At what point did you know? She is a psychopath.
I don't remember.
Her
I've
house
probably
is
seen this
burning.
house.
Her family's dead, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go hunting.
I've probably seen this. I've probably seen this movie 6 or 7 times, and it's not that old. So I don't remember what I. I
No,
don't
no.
remember
The
first
reason
time.
she's a psychopath is moments. No, while he's probably getting his brain disposed of, she's Googling top NCAA athletes.
Yeah, her next
she's
victim.
ready to go.
She's
while
going her
she
next.
sips on her milk and eats her dry Fruit Loop.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. I
By
didn't
the
even
way,
think about
there
that.
is a drink.
That's what.
There is a drink that's called Get Out that is like very complex to
Fruity?
make, and it is served over Fruit Loop.
So- Fruit Loop?
I have a cup that Riley got me. Riley's an amazing gift giver. Shout out Riley. I love you. It's a cup that
and
separates.
she's good at table tennis.
She's great at table tennis.
Yeah.
She's great at
It's called
social
ping
media.
pong. You crazies.
It's a cup within a cup. So the outside is milk, the inside is cereal, and you drink both of them at the same time. But the cereal never gets wet until it's.
Oh, I don't know if I would like
It's
that.
awesome.
Oh.
It's called the Crunch Cup.
If I ate
I
cereal.
want to say it's a Shark Tank situation, maybe.
If not, it will be.
Yeah. What'd you know going into it, Rem? Was this your first time seeing it?
I just knew Marcus really loved it and that it was scarier than The Shining, and I wasn't looking forward to being scared. Now, we did watch, so full
Did I say
disclosure.
it was scarier than The Shining.
No, I just knew it was.
Oh,
It
gotcha.
was definitely more frightening, more, what's
this is
about to
some messed
happen. Yeah. But like, we reset up the podcast room, which is a smaller room, and we watched it down here in a much more intimate setting with
Popcorn?
popcorn, obviously. We have kids that like to get up in the middle of the night, and this is the kind of movie where we can't be having that.
Yeah.
That scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Do you
Good
remember?
ruin.
So you've seen it 6 times. Do you remember what you thought the first time? Do you remember?
I don't. I think we were in theaters.
Did you
when we
predict
saw
it at all?
I mean, a little bit. Like
There was tells.
yeah, you know that they're like controlling their brain somehow.
Yes.
You can't figure out
Right.
what's happening.
Right. At some point, with the part that where I'm like, okay, wait a second, was the groundskeeper the bigger black dude, and he's like talking so clearly like an old man.
Exactly.
That was a part where I'm like, okay. And you're right. You're thinking, okay, they're controlling their minds. Did they literally put the body into them, or did they put the?
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together that the doctor, the dad, is like lobotomizing.
Yeah, he's a brain surgeon.
Yeah.
I definitely thought they are controlling these people, and they're hypnotizing them. Not until the grandma. She yells the word grandma. That is the moment I realized, oh wait,
they're in there.
You didn't know until then?
No, I didn't know that the help were grandpa and grandma.
Really?
No.
Are you shocked about that?
No,
there's
I'm
enough
not.
going on.
I'm not. I
There's
shouldn't
enough
be
going
shocked
on where
about
Brett's
that.
like, wait, that's the daughter. So hold on. The part. Do we all agree that this entire thing birthed out of the grandpa being upset that he lost to Jesse Owens in the Olympics? Is that what started this whole thing?
Yeah.
So I want to go. I would love to listen to the dad's comment, because he says something. Chris says something along the lines of, "Man, he probably never got over that."
Correct.
Yeah.
And then what does the dad say? The dad makes a comment right after that.
Well, I don't know what he says right after that, but he basically says he never got over it right before Chris says he never got over it.
He says that he never got over that.
He's still he kept training. Yeah.
All right, we'll get into it. What did I know going into it? I knew that it was something about a black dude surrounded by an entire white family. I knew that for sure, and I knew it was awkward and weird. Knew it was scary. But
Did you watch the trailer?
I've definitely seen. I mean, yeah, this is a very popular movie.
But when we decide to watch it, do you watch the trailer?
No, I go
I
in
think that's smart.
blind.
I did for this one because I didn't want to be completely scared.
I mean, if you're thinking about watching this, if you don't like horror movies, I will say this: I don't think it'll ruin anything. We're obviously going to ruin the whole movie for you anyway. It's not a jump out from behind scare you thing. You're just on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
There was no points where I flinched. There's
parts where
when he comes out from behind the tree in the opening scene. I think that's the only time I actually flinched.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
probably
something
when
to
they
happen.
hit the deer.
It's more
right?
eerie. It's
He
more
hit
like
you with some of it at the beginning.
it's more like Shutter Island, where it's like slow motion, scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got Shutter Island vibes, and I got Being John Malkovich vibes. Did you ever see Being John
I've
Malkovich?
Not seen Being John Malkovich. I should watch Being John Malkovich.
Yes, a long time ago.
The part where it's literally it's
The
it's a
room with
really
the small
weird.
rooms?
It's a cult movie. Yeah. So like basically they find a portal into John Malkovich,
Yeah.
and the way they show the TV, the way they show him being sunk into the room, looking up through the TV is the same way they depict being John Malkovich. So it was really interesting because you said there was a lot of Shining
I
moments.
felt like there was. Yeah.
What were some of the? Well, I'm jumping ahead, but I'm curious as to what you thought about The Shining.
Well, yeah, we can hit on it, but it's especially with the way that he uses music to like build the suspense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think lots of horror movies do this, but they both take very ordinary things
And make them suspenseful.
and then make them super suspenseful, or like you're just waiting, and then maybe nothing.
And then so maybe it doesn't actually come to fruition.
Yeah. So I thought that was something that just jumped off the page at me about both movies. It's really a very ordinary situation that turns into something that's not very ordinary. I hope.
This is Jordan Peele, correct?
Jordan Peele. Super incredible. Like up until this point, I mean, he directed a couple things. He basically said that he has way more fun directing than acting, so he's like just got about acting, and this movie like really put him into like director stardom.
Very solid job. And now that I have learned from your facts about how the director actually has so much to do with how well the actors perform, like there were a couple of scenes in here where I was like, wow, they all nailed that scene. And that makes me respect the director so much.
Well, it's funny you say that. I just saw a clip. There was this big viral news article going around about She-Hulk. And so I haven't seen Wolverine and Deadpool, and She-Hulk apparently had a part in it because like all the Marvel characters, a bunch of cameos in it.
Yeah.
But her part was cut out, so she's livid. She's like suing everybody because it was taken out.
Yeah, I was just
But
trying
the
to remember.
reason,
I was like, I don't remember.
well, the reason I'm saying that is because what you just said. So apparently they tested different parts of the movie to audiences, and it just didn't test well, so they cut her out. So, like, to your point,
So does that affect her royalties down the road? Does that affect her? She's
I'm
already
sure,
paid, right? Or-
I'm sure it does. But the way the article was written was more like she was butthurt. You want your work to be shown, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like Disney definitely just they did this with Scarlett Johansson. She's kind of done with all Marvel now, right? They totally kind of, from my understanding, kind of screwed her over by going straight to streaming.
Johnny Depp, but that's for other reasons.
You mentioned it on like 3 podcasts now, so it must be true. But I don't know about
I
it.
think it's pronounced Disney.
Did you know, growing up, I thought the D was a G?
Dude,
Yeah,
I didn't realize
so did
it
I.
was a D.
It
I didn't
looks-
realize it was a D for a very long time.
I didn't know they
Okay.
were spelling
That's
Disney.
the first thing I've ever announced in the podcast that I expected to get slapped in the face for. That you guys were like, yeah, me too.
I just can't reach
I thought
it.
it was a treble clef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I thought it was just their logo.
Right? Yeah. I didn't realize it was a D.
Disney. All right. Marcus.
What are we
let's-
drinking today, Rem?
Smells like a hot toddy, Marcus.
Marcus, let's rock, paper, scissors, see who goes first.
Okay.
On shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, you go first.
This is great audio content, guys.
Okay. I won. I got the rock. He got the scissors, and rock beats scissors.
Yes.
So Peters.
You could have done play-by-play, Rem.
How many Patreon accounts do we have these days? How many? Sign up, guys.
Okay. Black boyfriend meets white family and something is amiss.
Solid. Okay, so we went with if we're gonna reuse these, not giving away everything.
That's right.
I like it. Lots of questions.
Ooh, yeah. I think you felt convicted of what I said last week. I like
A little
the
bit.
tease.
Yeah, a little
I like
bit.
The
I
tease.
did.
Slamming. Here we go. Black guy, white girl, meeting her parents. Do they know I'm black? Why is he obsessed with dying things? The Help. Something's off. Hypnosis. Chris fell off. Grandpa's reunion party or the NFL Combine. Best friend Rod saw it coming. You should get some rest. Did the blind guy win or lose bingo? Her box is in the closet. The girlfriend is in on it. The blind guy won, but then he lost again. Stole a car and ran over Georgina. That's not Georgina. That's Grandma. Grandma's black too. Never fear. Rod to the rescue.
That's good.
Rod was the best.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So great.
So
like
good.
normal directors would do. Okay, so this is where it's like this is eerie. Like they're trying a little too hard for these groundskeepers to be just staring at them. Like, would Grandpa really just be like? He wouldn't do that. He would at least smile, like he's just staring him down. Georgina.
So you think so?
By the way, the scene where she tells what's the maid's name?
Georgina.
Georgina. When the mom tells Georgina to go take a nap,
Yeah.
I've had family that talks to their elderly mother-in-laws that way. That was the first clue for me that something's
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know.
little clues like that.
Until he's in the leather chair and the blind guy's talking to him on the intercom, I genuinely did not know that they were inside the. We keep on saying
so
inside
what
the
did
body.
so okay so it's fine that you didn't know. What did you think was happening with those two characters? They were what did you think
They
was wrong
were
with
under
them?
Did you have it
hypnosis.
figured out?
They were
until
just
then?
oh yeah.
They were
Oh, yeah.
under hypnosis.
Now-
I did not think they were family members.
I will say I can't remember what the clue was in my research. I also had to be looking up trivia while we were doing this. So there was some things that kind of gave
Well,
it
I will
away.
tell you, you may have ruined it because I was heightened, just like
Dude,
baffled.
yeah.
I definitely didn't put it all together until the Dharma Initiative video,
Coagula, the Coagula.
Yeah.
Did anybody look up Coagula? Like, what is?
Did you guys like my Lost reference there?
I love
Anybody
Lost.
catch that?
Yeah, I'm not a
Yeah.
Lost guy.
Don't you remember the Dharma Initiative video? Didn't it remind you of the same thing?
I'm one of the few
The
people that
music and
I'm
everything?
not livid about the end of Lost either. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Dude, it's fine.
Give me everything except like the last season.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'll
love
watch
Lost.
it again. Did you watch Lost?
No, Lost
Rem?
is garbage.
It's
No.
not garbage.
Can't do it. Can't do something that never ends. It's just never ending. You never find out what's going on.
Well, you figure they do.
It's about
tell
the
you.
journey, man. It's about the journey. All right. What made you think? I'll kick us off. Opening scene. So now that we know this dude is one of their boys from Brooklyn, here's my notes on him. Dude, you got to either go into attack mode or run as fast as you can.
What
There's
is he-
no in between.
What is he doing?
What are you doing? What are you run as fast as you can, or you
turn your back? What are
be
you
someone like you do,
Oh, the opening scene.
Yes.
I know. It's so funny because Brett always talks about the opening scene, not like the opening scene everyone remembers. Like there's always like a quick scene before the opening scene.
Yeah.
And you're always talking, because remember we
So
talked
what
about The
do you-
Revenant?
Yes.
Like the opening scene is him with his son for like a couple seconds and very mystic words and everything. But the opening scene is the battle.
So what do you call what I'm talking about?
The prelude.
So before the movie starts,
You get what I know. You're
I-
right. I know you're right. I'm just saying, like
You're just
when
saying
people
in
say
general,
the
like,
opening
when people
scene.
talk about the movie, they wouldn't
Yeah.
call that the opening scene.
Yeah.
The foreplay. if you will.
However, just horrible. Gonna get stolen strategy there. Not great.
Yeah,
Not
man.
great.
And he's clearly like super nervous and
Yeah.
like
It is
no,
pretty. His dialogue's
I'm
pretty
not-
funny.
Yeah.
I love
He's
that.
like, not me, not tonight, man. No.
So
And then
what's
he just
interesting?
realizes, oh, I'm so screwed.
Did you guys catch the line? I think the blind dude, guy from Office Space, basically says you wouldn't like his way. You got lucky because you got caught in her web. You wouldn't like her brother's
Yes,
way.
yes.
Well, that was the opening scene.
yeah.
That was his
Oh, yeah.
way, just
Yeah.
like capturing people and knocking them out.
Yeah.
He said, I think he uses the word strangulation or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he does the hold.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. He tries to do it to
Jujitsu or
Chris
whatever.
as well at
Yep.
the end, so he ends up getting.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's true.
That dude, so squirrely.
Also, Chris used a disposable razor.
Oh my gosh, it was so uncomfortable watching him shave.
Like, well,
Interesting.
Did you notice that?
When is the last time you used a disposable razor? I really want to know.
I think at a hotel.
Yeah, a hotel, not
where I
in your
forgot-
own house.
I forgot my razor.
Yeah,
How often do you use your wife's razor?
I'm a never. Riley uses mine. I don't want to say often, but once in a
I
while.
mean, I'm sure that I have.
Women's
be a pinch
razors.
situation.
Women's razors are amazing.
Maybe I will more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley tries a lot of different.
No, but the way this dude shaves, like he puts shaving cream on very erratically, then he's like
Well,
chopping away
realize-
at his
So
skin.
it's probably the 10th time he's shaved, quote unquote.
film.
So he's got to make it look like
On
there's.
film, yeah.
So that's probably.
That's not good acting. You're not going to win an award for that.
Can he even grow facial hair? I don't know.
All right.
Looks pretty clean.
now.
So in this scene, he meets Josh Lyman, and in all seriousness, if you're
Bradley Whitford.
if you Bradley
Okay.
Bradley Whitford,
Yep.
if you're a West Wing fan, I'm saying that facetious, but to be honest, Jordan Peele selected him because he played an iconic role, and he wanted the family to show up as white liberals. Which even as I read that, I'm like still wondering why he would take that stand. I mean, obviously he loves Obama. He's talking about Obama and all that.
I
but
think that-
why is it
He
important
would've
for them to
elected
be
him a third
liberal?
time if he could.
Was it? Don't you take the this
Because
was
that's I think if like it's more believable that a liberal actually likes black people, whereas like the what's painted on Republicans is that they don't like black people. So I think that's why.
see, that's where I was like, so he wanted to paint the picture that they really bamboozled you by being a white liberal family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I still get the feeling that he actually does like Obama. That's what's like. So here's the thing. This came out during the height of BLM, right? He had a story.
What year was this? 20.
I don't know. If only I had
Brett.
phones.
It was pre-COVID.
Mine's on do not. My
I'm
phone's on
sorry.
Do Not Disturb.
It came
I
out
don't
in
think it works.
2017.
Yeah, before that. for
He
sure.
had written this for years. Like he had it, didn't write, like wrote it 200 different ways, and then decided finally during the height of some political things that were happening, I'm gonna let this movie out. So that's where I was just like, it's really strange.
So
Your take on that is interesting, though.
So, well, the other part of it is, I believe that one of two things happen. either Jordan Peele had an idea for the end of the movie and he was like, all right, this is my opportunity to do the first part as well, or he knew what the first half of the movie was going to be and he's like, all right, how do I tie it all together? And my thought is it's a class on how black people can feel when they're around a lot of white people. There are so many moments throughout the movie that are like that.
Yeah, they talk about the iconic scene being the party.
So the Obama comment is, in my opinion, there are white people who use that as like this is how I prove to you I'm not racist. Yeah. I would have voted for him 3 times if I could.
Okay.
So I think that like he's just playing into that over and over and over again.
I think it's like, hey, it doesn't matter if you've got an R or D, in terms of how you vote, right? Like there's this white black thing that still does exist. At least I think this is what
you're talking about. The beginning of the movie, like what?
No, I'm saying if he's trying to put them as a liberal, white family, right? Well, what I think that the easy thing might have been is to say it's some like Southern Republican, I've got a Confederate flag.
That would have been too obvious.
Right, then
that's interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Then it's very believable that they're just like racist,
right? And
you can write that off,
right?
But if what Jordan Peele I think is saying is like there is still a wall that exists, right? Here's how we can feel.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the black friend. Who's the guy? His name is...
His real name's Lorel, but in the movie it's Rod.
Rod Williams. Jordan Peele is interesting because instead of comic relief, he literally just has comedic scenes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not comic relief. It's like full-on comedy in the middle of a horror film.
Great comedy. That guy is so...
And that guy was hilarious.
Works so well.
Yeah.
It flows really, really well.
Most of the lines I wrote down were his.
Black people are sex slaves.
Sex slave!
Sex slave!
I told you!
I had down his Dahmer rant.
I
didn't write it all down.
So good.
It's so good.
Guys, how crazy is this thread of all of our episodes leading to the next episode? Have you guys noticed that?
I know,
The
man.
Shining talks about the Donner family, the Donner party.
Mm-hmm.
Our next episode is...
Well, he said
Dahmer.
I know, but we mentioned the Dahmer as well.
Same thing. It's a thread. It's a thread, guys.
Yeah.
It's a thread.
It is a thread.
Well, they do eat people.
So I think if I genuinely believe it's two. I believe it's two separate movies. I think he had an objective with each half. The second half makes it a great movie. The first half is like, I've got this perspective that I really want to tell. And he told it. So if you're viewing it through that lens of the liberal side, I think remember they're trying to fool this guy, and it's a game at this point,
right?
So it's like I don't know that any of that.
They're not just trying to fool him. They're like testing him, and they're making sure. And like she clearly selected him because he didn't have any ties, right? Like what ends up totally screwing them in the end, honestly,
is his friend
Rod.
Yeah,
is the tie.
Yeah,
right. But like they're picking a certain type of person that's like not necessarily going to be missed.
So when I was still trying to figure out if she was just hypnotizing people and controlling them, that's what I thought was happening. Is like they were testing him to see if they could control him. Because at one point at the end of the movie, he goes, "Why black people?" And it was like I was trying. The
blind guy was like, "I don't care about that. I want your eyes."
Yeah,
basically.
but I think that was just to soften the blow. This movie was about that.
Yeah,
it literally was. I mean, that was Jordan Peele's.
Well, the grandfather's really weird obsession about running as the...
Well, it wasn't a weird obsession. He was an Olympic athlete. Like, he was running against Jesse Owens. That's the whole basis of the movie.
He wanted a black body so that he could run faster.
But that's what my point was going to be. But yes, it's obvious because of the Jesse Owens thing. But that was like every time you saw him running, like when he runs towards Chris and then just goes to the side.
Yeah.
He's like almost showing off this, I'm finally...
Yeah. Who runs like that in full clothes at midnight, by the way?
Someone who actually wasn't gifted with the ability to do that, and they're trying to make perfect form.
That's true.
That's what it is.
It's like a toddler that just watch this, mom.
It's like, oh, these new shoes make me faster. Check this out. That's what's happening just for the rest of his life. So okay.
That's when Kelsey. That's when
That's really
Kelsey's
terrible if you think about
That's
it.
when Kelsey's like, no.
Is when he was running.
When he's running straight at you. Yeah.
So
By the way,
by
it's
the way,
nearly impossible to watch a horror film with my wife. By the way, she will literally do everything she can to distract herself and me, talking, chomping on her phone, playing music. Like,
So the brother right here, by the way, we're watching. This is the dinner scene where the
Killer
brother is
mustache.
really going into him, starting to talk about sports.
I would have been out.
this is where I thought this is a scene where I thought they're testing him to see if they can control his mind. That's why I was confused about it.
I thought I don't know what I was thinking, but where I was going with it was that when they're playing bingo, I feel like it's a game to see who.
That was an auction. It wasn't bingo.
Okay, so they're literally time out. I put bingo in air quotes.
Oh, okay.
Auction wise, the blind guy clearly like wins that, right?
Yes.
So you don't think there's any amount of conversations? Literally highest bidder. Here we go.
Yeah. What are you
The
talking
whole
about?
point was
that wasn't.
for all of them to meet him so that they could try
Was
different
the
things.
son in the auction or was he off to the side?
He was up to the side.
See, I thought the son
Was jealous. He wanted
was
him.
jealous and wanted him. He wanted to be an athlete.
no.
That's why he was like, "Let me wrestle you."
No,
and
I
stuff?
think he just
No.
wanted. He has this Napoleon complex. He just wants to dominate people, and he
Yeah.
wasn't able to with Chris.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I got.
Got it.
He's just screwing with their minds. With his mind.
Truly trying to get in the family business, though.
ruined it. Ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
I would have been out when he said that she, like, I can handle quite a bit, but like she bit off her toenails and sucked on them and then kept them.
Yeah. What is that story?
Like, I'm pretty sure that yeah, goodbye. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm
leave.
gonna finish this, but then I'm gonna leave.
Probably
after,
could have
after dessert.
saved himself some serious trauma.
Yeah, we tried to, signs of a psychopath. There were signs.
I don't want to offend anyone, but who still smokes actual cigarettes?
You think you're gonna offend us or our listeners?
Yes. Like, I'm sorry if you do, but like, just people that do smoke that I know are not even smoking cigarettes. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
they're vaping and
yeah. I thought that was super weird.
The kid?
Yeah. Who?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
Chris. Yeah.
Yes.
Who smokes cigarettes?
Well, they look for people who smoke.
that would be an easy in. to
Why?
the hypnosis.
Yeah,
That's an easy.
Fixation.
Yeah.
Well, she
Interesting.
can. That's how she can get him.
You're
Hey,
gonna
we
hear
can get you to
throughout
quit
this
smoking.
episode, by the way, some
We could get you to quit smoking.
hypnosis.
Oh yeah,
twirling of
we're
the cup.
getting ya. We're getting
At
ya.
what point did you
Just
realize?
be careful if you're driving right
Yeah.
now.
Don't fall asleep.
At what point did you realize why Chris had this weird obsession with things that were dying? When he goes back to see the deer that they hit in the car, I'm like, why does he want to see? Is he the weird one? I thought he was.
What was
Well, when he
another
tells
thing that
the
was
story of
dying?
His mom.
Right. So a lot of his pictures that the guy, the blind guy's
Did not
explaining,
catch that.
where it was like
Melancholy.
things- yes. So and then finally, I don't even know if I got it when she gets him into full hypnosis and he shares the whole story.
Until he's explaining to the daughter
When he's
later.
explaining it to the daughter,
I didn't quite get it either. I didn't quite get that he was upset that he could have done something.
I didn't understand that until the daughter conversation.
And I'm not
Well,
gonna be
he
honest.
doesn't say it until the daughter conversation. I don't think.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't actually remember what he could have done. So like, I didn't go back
And
to watch
what's
that.
weird
To
about
look
it is
for.
the deer.
He what?
He could have gone to look for it.
So what
No,
happens?
no,
They're both in
He
it.
could have called somebody,
yeah. Okay.
and they could have
well,
been looking for
either
it.
way.
They're both in the car accident.
No,
or just
they're-
her. How
it's
does
a
he
hit
find
and
out?
run. She's shot. He's at home waiting for her to get home.
And he just kept waiting instead of trying to find her.
And the quote that I wrote down that
Was
I
what?
loved,
I know where you're going with
was, she asked, "Why didn't you call?" He goes, "I don't know. I thought if I did, it would make it real."
Yeah.
And as a little kid, that's true of an adult even
So
sometimes.
I just
They
kept
ignore
watching television.
The deer he was worried about, right?
So it ends up being if
Georgina.
there's something I can do to save them, I'm going to do it.
Georgina.
Yeah.
And then, oh shoot, I can't think of the daughter's name. What's her name?
He lets her live. You're saying when he's choking her?
Yeah.
Rose.
Yeah.
Rose.
Rose.
is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Rose. Oh, sweet little Rosie Posey. I didn't get that till.
Dude, I
till
love
When you hear someone else we call so your daughter's name is Rose. When you hear someone else called Rose, do you think of Rose or do you think of that person in that movie?
First time I saw her name, I was like, oh, Rose, cool. And then I never thought about it again, thankfully.
Isn't that interesting? Like, I avoided specific names for my kids because I didn't want to think about other, but like, I never think about another person ever. Like, we see so many movies with Charlie in it and doesn't
You naming
even,
your youngest Chewbacca was weird, though.
Yeah, it was weird. We call him Chewie, though.
All right,
Just
so
don't watch Star Wars.
we started talking about his here's the scene where Grandpa is running full
Here we
speed.
go.
Chris.
Here we go. Oh, he's
Did
just
you
running
think-
right at you.
I didn't know what to think. I was totally clueless in that moment.
Well, yeah, dude. Especially the first time you see it, you have no idea what's going on.
Then they hit you with her
staring, but then she's actually. So then
she was using it as like a mirror.
again, I feel like an idiot. Her hair is covering up her scar.
Yep.
Every black person we see is wearing a hat.
Yep.
Because their brain part of it's been sucked out from their body. So he goes back to bed. Is this where he gets?
This is where he gets hypnotized. Right here.
hypnotized.
So I wrote on the hypnotized scene. I thought like watching him try to fight off the emotions and the story and everything. Like he really didn't want to go there.
Right.
But as soon as she got him there, you know, he was scratching at the like he just like he went right back there.
That's why I didn't
And
want to go there.
I just thought that was a really great piece of acting.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So
It's
kudos
interesting.
there.
It's interesting you mentioned that because that's what won him the role. So Peele had worked with him on one other movie, which you like. Nope came out before this, and I believe he was in this.
No,
Or was
Nope
it
is
different?
after this.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
He was one other movie he worked on with him. So he interviewed. Basically, got in a room with Chris, or the guy that plays Chris. What's his name? His name is Daniel Kaluuya, and he basically does this scene 6 times in a row for him and has a single tear that comes out every single time. Like
Holy
he nails
cow.
it. He nails it every single, and that's what won him this role.
Dude.
Is his ability, which if you look at every poster, every trailer, like
Yep.
that's like the eerie face and
So
thing.
this is the scene you're saying they used to cast.
This is how
Like
he
you cut-
casted him. This is how Peele casted him, is this scene right here.
It's the scene.
It's incredible. I mean,
In
it's
a lot
really
of
good
ways.
acting.
Oh man, it's so. And what up until this point, this is where and one of my notes was, yes, the family is saying and doing things that could make him uncomfortable without knowing it's making him uncomfortable, but he's playing a part as the only black dude there, and not making it weird for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Until this is where it flips.
Yeah.
And he starts to question stuff.
Well, and Rose acting like
Dude, she's
she's
so
like,
good.
Like, oh, I can't believe they would do that. Are you kidding me?
I wrote down
want,
so
like,
many notes about Rose.
She's just unbelievable.
I wrote down, I don't know. I can't tell. And I kept going back with Kelson. Kelson's like, no, she's not in on it. She's not. I'm like, okay, well now I definitely think she's in on it.
The only thing that would have made him think that more is if I would have said it.
Yes, right.
So another thing I wrote down about Rose, her dismissing all of her family members' racism.
Yeah.
I did some recon on this with some of my black friends, just FYI.
Oh.
I was like, hey, like, is that a thing? They're like, absolutely. And it's frustrating.
What, people that dismiss their
Like
families?
your really close white friends that will then dismiss their friends or family members' remarks or whatever
for a certain reason.
They're like
They come from a different time.
yeah, they're all the just or just dismiss it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's like, did you tell him I'm black? And she's like, why would I have to do that?
Right.
That's weird. That I think that all again, Jordan Peele, he's putting that in there on purpose.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he's like, I told you so.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't.
Before Rose is evil, she's definitely playing a part as the she's ignorant toward it. Correct? That'd be the right word.
No, she's evil the entire time.
Right, but before you know she's evil, she's how I really believe
Before
it's too
he knows she's evil.
correct. But I think you're missing.
She's just
I
enjoying.
really think
No, dude, he's
you're-
saying she's doing a good job of acting in the movie. Is
so
what he's
you're
saying.
believing she's just ignorant toward it.
Yes, we are believing it,
Yeah,
and so is he.
right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Glad we're on the same page
Inception.
now.
She's acting within the acting.
What do you guys think about hypnotism?
I've never.
I believe in
done
it now.
You believe it from this movie? Shut up.
She's so good. The
No,
mom's
so I've
so good.
seen-
No,
hypnotists.
dude, this is a movie.
I've seen hypnotists like as a show type thing.
Yeah.
Before, and I've watched people up there do stupid stuff. Or
Do you
whatever.
think you could be hypnotized?
Probably, but
I just feel like I feel like in order I don't
think
know.
you have to be like willing.
Yeah,
to
that's
be
what I'm saying. I think you
hypnotized.
have to be willing to. That's why this is a little off, because he definitely does not want to be hypnotized. But it's also possible that he had been being worked on. What's the movie where they like hypnotize him throughout the whole movie and get him at the very end?
Did you get the fun fact about the spoon? Did you get that in?
I don't think so.
So apparently that also was a nod to white slave owners the women would sit out on the patio or whatever, and they would clink their spoon against their cup to get the house slave or whatever to come. Yeah.
No, I did not know that.
Never missing an opportunity. Jordan Peele. What else we got? What else made us think?
I just thought, especially if you're watching it the second or third or fourth or fifth time, you just notice all of the people, all the friends, of like all of the friends of Grandpa or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're all just testing Chris out.
Sure,
in
you're
different ways.
feeling his muscles.
Yeah, for whatever their purpose is.
Right.
So whatever they're wanting to buy him for, right?
Why do they all look up when he goes upstairs in a weird way? Is that just them acknowing that
They
the entire
knew-
reason they're there is for him?
Well, Grandma, they probably knew she was up there, and she had his phone.
Yeah.
So maybe
I think it's just another hint that like this is not just a party.
We're not just here for a party. We're here for...
Yeah.
Yeah, that part was weird.
Well, it was messed up. Like you're like, what the heck is going on?
Well, and then so like he keeps on snapping people out of it with a camera. Is there anything that I kept looking up to try to find if there was anything there other than the fact that it's just something to snap someone out of their hypnotism or their...
the flash you're saying?
Yeah, like did they give us a reason why that kept working?
I don't think so.
I don't
And
think so either.
nothing said that was realistic in your research. You didn't
No,
find anything
I mean, so I still don't know what I believe about hypnotism. It seems like it is possible
People
to be
can
done.
be hypnotized.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I just don't know the degree of which you can be hypnotized if you're not willing to be hypnotized.
If you're a hypnotist or know one, email at us at the cover pod.
I would
love
love
to
to have someone on the show who's a
Oh,
hypnotist.
that'd be awesome.
Could we have a hypnotist at our live show?
I'm gonna watch YouTube videos and I will hypnotize you the next show.
Oh my.
DIY
That-
hypnotism.
Listen, I might let someone hypnotize me. I will not let you hypnotize me.
Why?
I love I love looking over my notes after the fact. Now that I know what was happening, so many clues.
So many clues.
The guy that ends up trying to attack Chris, that's married to the older white woman twice
The
his
young
age.
black dude from the
Yep.
beginning.
Did you notice that Chris is like, "Oh, good to see another brother here," and he goes to dap him up,
yeah.
and he shakes his
hand.
Oh yeah.
dude. The
Yeah,
most obvious "I'm a white guy"
Well,
thing.
and
Like again,
the other thing with that guy is that everybody there like knows him so well, right? He's like, "Oh, I'll have to leave and go home, and you won't have my wit," or whatever he says.
Yeah.
He goes over to that other small group and like shows off his new body. And, like,
It is
spins
interesting
around.
because he is still going really slow,
my
and it's
gosh.
because his
Yeah.
mind
I
is
was
so
wondering
slow.
that.
Like even if your body is young and you can run fast, your mind is controlling your body.
and that would explain
So
why
he's-
the
they're still
groundskeeper
figuring
talks
out.
so slowly.
Oh yeah,
Because Grandpa, dude.
Well, the other thing is like Georgina.
look at this face. Look at this. Oh my gosh, this face is so creepy.
She's a real keeper.
Yeah.
She's a real
Yeah.
whatever he says.
That was a dead giveaway.
Um.
Dead give. No, I thought it was just a dead giveaway that they're being hypnotized. That
No,
they're
no.
being
Well,
controlled.
what's
No.
interesting is that you could see it either way. So Chris is sensing hostility from both of the housekeepers.
Right.
Right. like them thinking that they would want to be with Rose. That's what he's sensing. It's like their whole vibe is off. Their whole vibe is hostile.
And so he interprets it as
and then
them
the
wanting-
words that are coming out of their mouths are so clearly older people.
Yeah.
Right? Like when Georgina can't figure out what snitching means, like tattletale, right? But he says about both of them that their vibe is very off.
But-
well, in both cases, that was one of Rose's lovers, right?
Yep.
The both of the house people.
Georgina was the last picture in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both lovers of Rose. So I think even that like silent passenger that's stuck in the space has something to do. Like there's still something there in their personality that's trying to get out, that's trying to fight it. That brain.
That's
that
when
left.
they kind of, it looks like the spinning wheel on a Mac. That moment where like they're not talking, they're thinking, their eyes start watering, like it's
Yep.
Well, and they mention in the Coagula video, they leave one part of the
their
brain that's connected to something. Because he asked, well,
A little bit of you will still be in there.
yes, that's And I think that's
and then
that.
you'll live in that sunken space.
Is that
together.
because if they take that last little bit, they'll die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that so when he flashes
I think it's the bit that controls the body, right? I think. That's
when he flashes the first dude and his nose starts bleeding, is that his actual self that comes out?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's a malfunction. It's him saying it's him. Yeah, because his whole demeanor changes.
And he's saying, "Get out!" attacking Chris. He's really attacking the dude that's taking over his body.
It's possible.
I think
like,
that-
I
because
thought.
telling
why
Chris
else-
to get out.
I know, but I also
Or-
thought it's potentially he's talking to the grandpa.
I think he's talking to the grandpa because he attacks Chris.
That could have been.
He attacks Chris and says, "Get out." I think he's talking to the grandpa about getting out. Actually,
Yeah.
Well, was he attacking him or just like running?
Yeah, he's like rattling him, like shaking him, get out.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
think
thought
he was-
you could be right.
he's angry. He's angry at Chris. That's the
Oh, I
feeling
don't think he
got.
was angry.
Well, if he's angry, then it's definitely at the grandpa.
I know but I think it's actually at the grandpa. But it's just
No, I think he's frantic. I don't think
Yeah,
he's angry.
I agree. I don't think he was. I think he was like, dude, you got to leave right now. Like
Yeah.
you're about to be.
You have
done.
no idea.
I would love to watch back and see.
Well,
see
you
what
are
was
watching,
You're watching
back.
it
It's
right
like
now.
But I'm not
Right
going
there
to
to happen.
hear him.
Just open your eyes.
Dang it.
Wow. Oh, look at all these old black cars. Old Lincolns.
Yep.
The nosebleed.
This looks like a funeral procession.
It does. And
Is
the
it?
hug. Look at the hug. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Well, it is a funeral procession, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
because the one person's going to not leave, and that person's
Dude,
body is
another
going to be
quote.
gone.
This guy, she's like, yeah, he was a professional golfer. He goes, I do know Tiger.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is like he wants a better body so that he can be like Tiger Woods.
but dude, no, I think that again, I think it's Jordan Peele poking fun at some older white
Oh,
people
it's
trying to
totally
relate.
the whole
Yeah.
scene.
It's
This
both.
Yeah.
This is the epitome of uncomfortable racism depicted in
Yeah.
non-racism.
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
is this scene right here, the dinner party, where they're trying to show
Everybody
how
trying
not
to be
trying
not
to
racist.
trying to not be racist.
Yeah. Or like it reminds me of moments where somebody will go to a school, and a good school, and older white person will be like, "So what sports do you play?" Like it felt like that moment
Yeah.
over and over and over again at the dinner party scene. It really, really did. Okay, so after this is where he really starts. This is where she's again in the moment. I'm thinking, oh, Rose is now realizing finally what's the issue. In reality, the long walk away is just, dude, I'm letting everybody get set up and
Correct.
ready to go. Gosh, I just feel like an idiot watching this back. It's so.
So what's crazy about this is this won an Oscar for screenplay, but it was mostly ad-libbed. They had
Really?
Yeah, so they had a structure, and then they told you where you wanted to go, much like It's Always Sunny. This is where we want to go, and now have at it. Which is funny because, like, so I mean, that's one of the notes, and the other note is Jordan Peele rewrote it 200 times, and that's probably why it was ad lib. He just could not find the lines. He's like, we're just gonna keep doing this until we want all the lines from the funny guy. What's his name? Lil Rel. Is completely ad libbed.
I feel a lot better about not thinking my book's a 10 out of 10 after I'm halfway through the first edit. This is good.
Yeah, you need to do it 200 more times.
Good feedback. So as an actor, would that make you excited or nervous for a director to go, by the way, here's the idea for every scene, we're gonna ad-lib all of
that's
it?
what I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't that. I think what they did is they showed up with their lines and they were like, let's do it again. Do it differently.
Got it.
Do it again. Say it differently.
So there was a
Do it again,
foundation
say
built.
this. There was a foundation. But I don't know. I mean, that
I think
it depends on how talented you
I
are.
think a lot of that happens with. It depends on the director, but oftentimes I think that they'll shoot it one way. The director has another idea. They'll do that. They'll say, and then maybe the actors. Like, it's very collaborative with some directors, not all directors.
Peele is definitely a collaborative.
Like we talked about Kubrick. Like
not
Not at
collaborative. This is my way. Do it
it's
again.
my movie. This is how this is going down.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Whereas like other directors will be more collaborative.
It's interesting too. You wonder if it's because Peele was an actor before. You wonder if it's the actors that turn directors that are more collaborative. Like Ron Howard, I've heard he's great to work with. He was an actor.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, kind of. It makes me. It kind of makes me think a little bit of like both Green Lights and the Alan Alda book. Like we read these books about these different actors, and like I feel like they even talked about the different types of directors, the different types of acting, and I don't know if it's you prefer one over the other. It's just different.
Yeah, I think it would be as a actor turned director. At least at first, I feel like you would have a lot of respect and actually want those actors' opinions initially, at least, because you're coming straight from it. Yeah, for sure.
It is really interesting. I'm watching the scene, and you're right. He shows off his new body, like that's so evident now.
Yep.
It is so interesting how he used the comic relief character to basically tell you exactly what is happening.
Exactly what's happening.
Like it actually is exactly what's happening.
Well, because some of these people now they're
not the sex slave part, but it is it kind of
not exactly, but kind of
Yeah.
right because that's what these old women want
basically.
essentially.
Well, they want companionship.
Do you think they live forever? Like, do you think they rebid once that body's wearing
Yes.
out? They're like, all right.
Well, I
let's
don't
go
know.
and get
That's the interesting thing about a mind. How old can a mind be?
Well,
like his mind is so old in this young dude's body. At some point, the mind gives out.
They say that though in the
Coagulation
in the Coagula movie.
Dharma Initiative.
Yeah,
too.
Dharma Initiative.
Yeah.
Maybe someday you'll be able to be a part of the family. You know. I thought that was interesting. I think they totally plan on essentially being immortal.
Yeah.
And using.
So is it
people's
more of an
bodies.
immortal thing? Is it at first I was like, is this like an Aryan race situation that they're hoping to? No, it's definitely immortal.
No, it's the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
he believes that they're the superior race in terms of physicality because Jesse Owens beat him in the Olympics. So now we're going to use them to live forever.
I would the second transplant, would be because the mind. I don't know, man. As long as you got a heart that works, it can feed the mind, right? Like,
I don't know.
how
But
long?
I do think they plan on this is their way to be immortal.
All right, that part right there was so interesting to me. That was a little over the top, I feel like. What was the point of that? What was so necessary about that? Okay, so you're
they're
saying
worried that something's up.
I think they know the grandma's up doing something that she's not supposed to.
Oh, so they're worried because she's going to mess everything up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because he's not supposed to go up there.
And then she goes and apologizes instead of just leaving it alone.
And clearly everybody knows that
That's so grandma. That's so grandma.
She's getting yelled at by her daughter constantly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, or by her daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law, yeah.
She's like, no one tells me what to do.
Yeah, exactly. I'll show you. I can handle this. Watch
So
this.
hold on.
I'll make this better.
And is Rose? Oh, she's in there. Okay, I thought she was in there with grandma. I'm like, that's weird.
Rose is going up there because
She knows.
He can't
She knows
be
what's up.
unsupervised.
Right.
And
And she
trying to
takes
say-
him out on the walk too to get him away from the auction.
she's the babysitter.
The auction
And she freaking loves it.
when Bradley what's his name?
Whitford.
Whitford
But dad, yeah.
is holding up his hands for the first time. That's the eerie transition of the movie where it's like this is happening.
Oh,
what
yeah.
you thought the whole time and you didn't want to believe. Yep, this is what's
Rod
happening.
was right.
Yep.
They're bidden.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny. What does he say? He says, how about sparklers and bingo? Like, let's liven this party up. How about sparklers and bingo?
Well,
Like,
looking
what are you
back,
talking about?
like it was kind of funny. He was being funny, but looking back, that was his cue to his daughter
Correct.
to go. Yeah.
But it's a hilarious line. It's like sparklers and bingo. What are you talking about?
Man, it is
And then
interesting.
you go out there and they're using the bingo cards to bid.
But
Was it clear
is
how
there-
much money they were spending? Could you
No.
guys figure it out?
Is there
No.
I wonder if there's a way to
'Cause
play.
it couldn't have just been 10 grand.
No.
He puts a 10 up. It could not have been 10 grand.
I
So
was.
is it 10 million? That
Yeah.
seems excessive.
Where was this? Where was it? What was the setting?
New York?
Then
like
it could
upstate New
be
York.
Martha's Vineyard. If that's where it really was, then yeah. I mean, it could have been 10 mil. I mean,
That-
they were all driving like
It had to be.
luxury cars.
It had to be millions.
Yeah, for sure. Because that one guy is an arts dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way to play the auction bingo game with the new host still there.
Well,
Like, if
I
there's-
wonder if they did that, like with the ones that the brother, like they would have had to do this very differently with the people that the brother
Oh,
brings because they were kidnapped. So it's not like you're gonna kidnap them and then host a party for these people. I just imagine them being like in a cage and coming.
Oh,
and
yeah,
looking
you're-
at him
you're
and
getting the
poking him
specs.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
oh, geez, much less fun movie.
Yeah. Very different, eerie.
Or
Not-
maybe Rose is doing all this research and then they say, hey, we have this dude picked out,
Yeah, that could be.
highest bidder, and then we'll go take care of it. And then there's the
Well, it's
auction's
not
already
Rose
over.
though; it's a brother. The brother.
Oh, sure, yeah.
because Rose, they could do this.
This was nominated for Best Picture. If they would have taken that direction, it would not have been as widely accepted and loved as a movie. If
No
they would
way.
have if they would have gone that dark, there's no way.
That's pretty dark.
So there's 6. Here's a fun fact: 6 horror films all time have been nominated for an Academy Award. Can you guess the other 5? And only one of them has won Best Picture. I'm sorry, for Best Picture.
All time.
So-
One has one.
One has won. So you have to think what is a most widely
If we guess these, do we get to go to
circulated.
Cannes?
If you guys get 2 of these, we can go to Cannes.
Oh, 2.
2 of the 5 others.
So when you say, but Academy Award does not equal widely circulated.
Well, if it's Best Picture, it has to be.
It has to be a box office smash.
It doesn't have to be
that's
box
true.
office.
No,
It
not
just
to
has to
win
be
Best
widely.
Picture.
It has to be widely. It can't be like a.
Because we said that
Like what's a-
Whiplash was like the least
marketable.
the one that did the least amount of money that got
Okay,
nominated.
I'm not. So Shining?
No.
No.
I'm never gonna get this.
Everyone gets 3 guesses. That's my rules.
The only one I can think of is Scream,
Birds.
and I don't think Scream would be on this
Nope.
list.
No, you guys
What?
are thinking too horror.
There's a
It's got to be a
Hitchcock- there's
crossover.
gotta
You
be a
got to think
Hitchcock movie.
crossover, like scary but not quite horror. Well, a couple of these.
Are these the ones that I would know?
Yeah, you know all of these.
Psycho?
No, it's a good guess though. One of them has a big old fish with nasty teeth.
Oh, Jaws.
Jaws.
See, I would not think of that as a
That's what I'm
horror.
saying. It's like a crossover. It was a horror genre. I mean, think about when
I
it
like
came
Jaws
out.
a lot.
When
Yeah.
Jaws came out, like it was definitely horror. Now we watch it and it's like kind of jumpy and scary, but it's not.
Jurassic Park?
Nope. I love Jurassic Park.
Give us other hints.
One of them is not a white swan,
Black Swan.
but it's a black swan.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I
Dude,
just
psychological thriller. I mean, it's as much of a horror film as this is.
if you would have, I still wouldn't have got it right. But yeah, a wider range of this because psychological thriller that makes sense to me. Black Swan horror. I don't know.
So the only one on this list that is absolutely a horror is The Exorcist. That one.
Should've got that.
Oh yeah,
And
that we
it did
should've
not
gotten.
win. It was nominated. The only
We should've
one
gotten
to
Exorcist.
be nominated and win was Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So maybe
that's
my I think my
Put the
perception
lotion
of
in
horror
the
is
basket.
incorrect. I automatically think of Marcus used the word slasher.
yeah,
when I think
like
of horror,
slasher type movies. Yeah.
and that's just not yeah, that's not horror. Horror is way more grand than that, for sure.
I watched The Grudge when I was in high school.
Yeah. That's like the only time that I watched. I was trying to think of like horror movies. The only ones that I know are stuff
When
that
you
was
were in high school, The Ring.
That's it. Yeah. The Ring, The Grudge, all those.
Saw The Ring, The Grudge, remind me.
I don't remember.
It's like this
They all
little
go in.
black thing in the corner that comes and turns into this girl that runs after you.
Dude, every Friday from 5th grade to 8th grade, I
watch horror movies
every Friday.
Horror
so
movies?
I saw a lot. No, just went to the movies in general, and many times
Wow.
you'd see a horror movie.
Wow.
You have
Eighth grade?
your life was basically like Tarantino. You should read Tarantino's book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would resonate a lot
Well,
with it.
I mean, I was making out with a girl most of the time.
Oh, that was not
in the
Tarantino.
movie?
Yeah.
Definitely
In
not
sixth
Tarantino.
grade?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I had a.
I have a 6th grader.
I had a. I'll say a friend.
It's not as funny now, is it?
It was.
It's
He's
funny.
Good. I like the dude, but more of an acquaintance. He was kicked out of one movie theater forever.
Wow.
Forever.
Okay.
Can never go back to Elkhart. What is?
Did he have his picture up?
What was
He
the
probably doesn't look the same now, I'm guessing.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's gone. That
You
movie
just
theater's
spilled too
gone.
much popcorn, huh?
Yeah, so
Spilled
here it is.
too
Here it
much
is, Brett.
popcorn.
Here it is, Brett. He's not mad at him. He's
Look
saying,
at him. He's a
"Get out."
completely different person.
He's like, get out, dude, get out, grabbing him.
Yeah. If he was just mad at Grandpa or get out of my head, he wouldn't have gone
would've
for
just run
Chris.
the woods
He would
or
have just
something.
like banged his head against the wall or something. Yeah.
Look
Dude,
at her
Rose
playing,
is still
dude.
just playing this up, man.
Oh,
She loves it. She's a complete psychopath.
Guys, at the end of the movie, her house is on fire. Her parents have been killed. Her mom was killed in
Dude.
front of her. Her brother was killed. And she goes outside stone face thinking I'm going to do target practice.
That scene where she calls Rod and she's stone psychopath face.
Making
but she's doing
voices.
she's doing the Rose voice like she's super scared or
but
whatever.
straight faced.
While at the same time.
That's impressive
like,
acting.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jessica told me something. She was looking up that that even freaked out the director.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
well,
Did I get that right?
as the weird, crazy dad, he clearly sees Rose as his perfect child who makes this entire thing work. Like, he's been raising her to play this part for her entire life.
Totally. Can you imagine being proud of that? These people are all messed up, man. That's why they voted for Obama 3 times.
I've been proud of my kids for some pretty stupid
I mean,
stuff.
one time I get, but come
But
on.
yeah, this would be a little long. All right. So the moment that it really, really, really hits him that Rose is in on it is
The keys.
No, the closet.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I
So
think in
what do
that
you-
moment, I think he's still wondering, is she hypnotized? Is she
yeah.
is
So do
she
you think that him
bamboozled?
yelling about the keys is him thinking I'm gonna fight her?
I think he's thinking I don't want her to be what I think she is.
Yes, exactly.
And by the way, all the pictures of all the dudes after she told him that he was the only black guy she'd ever dated. Once she got to the picture of Georgina, then I mean, at that point, unless
Well, I just you said lover. I just thought she was a friend. What?
no, it was
dude.
clearly like
her MO is to be with them for a few months, bring them over.
Huh.
I guess
send
it
for
could
auction.
have been, but that's
I
not
just
how I
pictured
perceived
friend.
it. Not how I
That's
perceived
interesting.
it. Yeah.
That's part of what the blind guy talks about. He's like, at least you were lucky. Like the way
Right,
that
she
Rose's
grooms ya.
way of doing it seems a lot more fun. Essentially,
You get some fun out of it.
yeah. Dude, how about the brother picking the ukulele, like as he comes back into the house,
Eerily.
or whatever, like kind of like Deliverance vibes.
Mhm.
You know, I thought that was kind of cool.
That was cool.
Playing with the lacrosse.
He's playing with. He's always doing something that gets you thinking, what's
What's he about to
going
do?
on here? Yeah,
Yeah,
just
he's a different crazy.
Yeah.
that's saying something in this family.
Actually, who's crazier, him or the or Rose?
Dude, I think Rose is crazy.
I think
I do too.
I think he's
she's
just
eating Fruit
constantly-
Loops and drinking milk.
You know, this makes more sense though.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he's
so crazy.
he's constantly wanted to prove himself to probably his dad because Rose is the chosen one.
Hold on. Does she put milk in her mouth and then toss the Fruit Loop in and then swallow everything?
No,
No.
dude, she dips the Fruit Loop in the milk.
No, I don't.
No,
think
I don't even think she
just
dips
grabs
it.
the Fruit Loop.
She eats the Fruit Loop.
She grabs the Fruit Loop, eats it,
and
then
then
drinks the milk out of a straw.
I guess we shouldn't knock it until we try it.
Well, hold on. You're kind of describing my Crunch Cup.
I know.
He calls it a Crunch Cup.
And
is that what it's
that's
called?
the brand, dude. It's a Crunch Cup. And it's awesome. No,
I mean-
drinking milk with a straw is freaking weird. So, yeah, that's
Why?
psycho.
Yeah.
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 Jessica drinks everything with the straw, so I guess
She's a girl.
By the
She's
way,
allowed to.
Chocolate milk with a straw for some reason, I'm totally cool with.
Chocolate milk is so good.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
as
it's way different.
I don't know why it is, or as Hazel, my toddler would call it, brown. Can I have brown milk, please?
Oh,
Thank you.
that just destroyed brown milk.
When Reed was a
Chocolate
little
milk
kid,
is-
he said, "Chocolate milk some milk, chocolate milk some milk," and he was like not even 2 yet, but he could get into everything. So he would like. Open
I remember he took knives up the stairs while we
Yes,
were there.
Exactly, just ridiculous.
Do you remember that? He got on the counter,
on the counter.
got the knives up, and then carried them upstairs.
Sharp
Sword.
knives.
Cutco knives.
So nice.
You know, it just our
Well,
kids are.
You know, one
resilient.
of us had to
They're
have the
resilient.
first kid just to figure all this out.
Thank
to
you,
teach
guys.
the rest of.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Mangus.
You're welcome.
Fun fact: this was the best-rated film on Rotten Tomatoes for 2017.
Whoa,
That is quite a feat.
I love this movie.
It's quite a feat.
I think it's very, very
98% Rotten Tomatoes. That's hard to do.
I thought cool moves by Jordan Peele. He had to figure out a way for us to know what Rod was thinking when he realized that Rose was lying. So him putting her on mute,
Yep.
so we could understand what he
you
was
lied.
thinking. Was
Yeah.
I thought that was such a creative way to allow us to like know what Rod's
Sure.
think. Like it was just a really. I thought that was cool.
Sure.
I had in
Yeah.
my notes, just so you guys know, as soon as Chris wakes up, or I guess fakes them out, but before it was.
Did you guys see that coming?
As soon as the
Fake out?
brother,
Yeah, I
as
didn't
soon
know
as the
how
brothers
he
go
was
down-
gonna do it.
They give you a hint, but like that, I never.
I
saw
wrote
it
down.
coming.
I already know that the brother is about to get a butt whooping.
Yes.
I put
Yes.
that. I just could tell.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know how he was going to do it. I didn't understand the fuzz. I should have put that together.
I didn't understand
But I
that
knew
either,
he
but
was
I knew-
faking being hypnotized.
Yes. Now, why he took it out, knowing that lady could still try to hypnotize him later, got me. Why didn't
Yeah.
you?
You need to have your faculties when you're trying to kill people.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's
He
true.
Not
spears
trying.
the guy.
He kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets that guy with the antlers. That's pretty.
I'm
awesome.
surprised he doesn't go for the blind dude.
Yeah.
Even though does he set it on fire? Or is it it's just he sees that it's on
No,
fire?
it goes on fire. He sees.
He's
that it's
like,
on
all right,
fire,
this is
and
gonna
he's
be way
like,
worse for
whatever,
that
man.
guy.
Well, also,
Yeah.
half of his brain is laying on the
The
ground.
other
He's-
guy's dead already. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He kills the guy.
He
he's the only
hasn't
person
taken
that
the
can
brain
save him.
out yet. He
His-
took the skull off.
Oh, I thought the brain was.
I thought
ready.
part of the brain, whatever he was.
I thought the brain part that he was going to transplant was ready to go.
He was throwing lots of stuff in that bucket. Let's be honest.
This is very grandparenty. If you figured it out at that point, the grandparents are just smiling as you walk by. That's actually
this is where
believable.
He's picking the ukulele too.
Okay, favorite death scene. Favorite death
They're like, oh, we just
In-
made $10
in any
million
movie or this
in this
movie?
movie. In this movie, favorite. death.
I mean,
I like Rose's death.
Oh,
why does he strangle her and she smile just to show how crazy she is?
Yes, and because it's like I knew you couldn't do it. You don't have it in you.
Because he's not actually doing
He's
it.
not. Yeah. But also like when the guy,
Get him, Grandpa.
grandpa
That's the best line in the whole movie.
Grandpa takes, but the guy that's he's not grandpa anymore because the picture got taken.
Right.
He's like, here, let me do it.
Yeah, I saw that
And then
coming.
just straight shoots.
so
her.
why didn't
I love that.
Why didn't she see his nose? His nose is bleeding, and Rose does not. pick
I
up
don't
on
think
it.
she put two and two together that mattered. Like, I don't think it was this big thing. Your nose is going to
So you think those are the only two times that's ever happened?
Sure.
To one
Yeah,
another?
it's not.
I
It's
don't
not like that's the
understand why he
tell.
didn't take a picture of grandma. Like, hey, maybe before I pick you up and put you into my car, why don't I take a picture?
Because she's
of you?
knocked out. He's not thinking that. He's thinking, I got to get out of here.
It wasn't obvious, guys.
What?
It wasn't obvious that she was grandma, so he wouldn't have had any reason to believe.
Dude, everybody knew she was.
No, he knew at that point.
You're telling me
She tried to stop him.
You're-
She jumped in front of his car.
time out.
That's not what happened.
No. That is
He just
not,
ran her
he
over.
He did
No,
not
she
know.
tried to hit
Guys,
and jumped.
no, time out. He did not know that was the grandma when he put her in the car.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
No,
did.
he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He absolutely knew that.
Yeah.
I disagree 100%.
It doesn't matter
Watch
if
it
you
again.
disagree. He knew.
He definitely knew.
And then he hates himself for going back to get her, but he's like,
he
I
went
No!
back to get her because he
There's a
knows
gl-
that woman
there's a
is stuck
glimmer.
inside.
Yes, 100%. There's a glimmer of hope that I can
He
still get
knows
that.
that grandma has taken over. They gave him a million hints. He knows that they've been doing the transplant. He knows that she was a former lover of his ex-lover at this point. Well, how in the world would he not know?
That's true. It's all good points. Then he's an idiot for picking her up.
He picked her up because he can't leave
Right.
a dying person there.
Right.
And he knows that woman is still stuck in the space, whatever they called it.
She goes crazy. That was scary.
Not grandma,
when
but
she wakes up.
Not grandma,
That was scary.
But the woman that they took over
Yeah.
is still in there in that sunken space, that sunken place. And that's who he's trying to save.
She jumps in front of the car as grandma trying to.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not saying you believe she snaps out of it and is trying to get him to save her.
No.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. He's looking through the photos. Let's see.
It's a bunch of them, by the way. That's a lot of money.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
who's this guy?
there's Grandpa.
That was Grandpa?
I think so.
All right. So then he gets... Okay, that's Grandpa.
Yep.
And then the next one's going to be the girl.
Yep.
This is just friends.
Yeah, man. No, it's
That's
not.
not just friends.
They're
No,
just
it's not.
friends.
No.
Yeah, just friends taking a picture in the bathroom, holding
Yes!
each other's boobs. Yeah.
That's not what she was holding.
Yeah. Are you
Out
gonna be
of
like
your
this?
mind.
Are you gonna be this way when you see pictures of your daughters? They're just friends. You need to heighten your radar over there, okay?
Definitely not.
Jeez, man. Goodness.
That's...
Any boys that are like, Charlie's my best friend. There are no boys that just want to
You're
be
just
your
saying
daughter's
this
best
because
friend.
if you saw that photo,
The
you would
first
not...
thing I thought was
Because of the context of the other photos.
the entire movie we had watched. Yes, because of that context. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, if anyone has radars on, it's this guy. I'll tell you that much.
All
right.
Is she worried? Do you think she's worried at this point that he's actually going to get out?
No. She's freaking.
Oh, look
loving
at this
every second
creep!
of
The
this.
creep brother standing at the door with the lacrosse stick.
Oh, she's got her teacup.
Oh yeah.
And she waits, too.
Oh yeah. She
She waits. She wants the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
She wants the uneasiness.
Well, she wants to let her daughter make the full transition to crazy. That way, Chris
Rose
knows.
keys. Rose keys. Rose
You know I
keys.
can't give you the keys.
Yeah. I looked at Kelsey. I was like, I told. It was like Maury. It was like Maury. I told you.
Celebrate.
Anything else on our list that made us think?
All right, nothing else.
Yeah,
No. I didn't think a whole lot. I was just playing defense on this movie.
You guys can think whatever you want, and you're probably right. I did not realize that they literally became the black people until I'm looking through my notes. Until after
You gotta watch it a second time.
Until after she was Googling top NCAA prospects.
What? That's way too late. That's way too late.
Yeah.
They literally tell you, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to hear feedback from our listeners if you also got it as fast as these future con
Brett's gonna watch movies at con, and he's gonna be like, "I didn't get it."
We can't get to con because you guys can't get any of my trivia.
Well, I'll be.
Jaws was right there for you.
I'll be better.
You know, if you want to
Exorcist.
go, you could just ask us trivia like 2 + 2, and then we would
I
just
thought
go.
it was a pretty simple trivia.
I just didn't. I don't think of Jaws as horror, but I guess it is.
Okay, so I know what I thought when you guys saw the cop car lights, the cop lights. What was your first thought?
Police officer.
And what do you think was going to happen?
I thought he was going to get arrested.
He was going to get blamed for everything.
Oh, that was my hidden gem. I thought for sure.
and that's exactly what Peele wanted.
I was like, crap. And then she goes, help. She's thinking the same thing.
Especially the way they like made a huge thing at the beginning. That was,
yeah. No, I thought that was great. That was awesome. And
wait, are we on hidden gems?
He called.
No,
not yet. He called 911. So it's even in your head that.
Yeah.
Freaking Rod to the rescue.
TSA.
It says airport security on the side. Any other things that made us think before we go to best quotes?
Did anyone eat popcorn with chocolate inside of it
for this movie?
No,
No, but that's a good idea.
So you're not putting Raisinets, or you are?
I'm putting everything in my popcorn now.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome, isn't it?
Like
Sour Patch Kids.
Literally everything.
So good.
Yeah, my
Raisinets
favorite.
are my go-to.
My favorite are like anything that's like chocolate, though.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite specific thing is anything that's chocolate.
Yeah, but there's so many other things you could put in there.
Did you do the crunch? Did you try the crunch?
I haven't. No, because I think you can only get those at movie theaters.
You know what I think
That
would
might
be
be true.
good is the little mini fun size Snickers in the popcorn. That'd be good.
It'd be too big.
You're talking about like the really.
No, really, like the square. Like maybe they're not even fun size. Maybe they're bite size Snickers. Bite size.
Maybe. I feel like my hands would get a little too chocolatey.
Oh, they will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They just put the whole thing in your mouth.
Yeah, but they're chocolatey before you put it in your mouth.
Oh, because of the butter. If hot popcorn.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lick your fingers. Go right back in. You're just not sharing. Everybody needs their own bowl. Best quotes.
Just look at
Do you guys want quotes or Kelsey quotes? I have both.
Oh, let's do both.
Yeah, we could do some of both.
Okay. So when they're sleeping, they're at the house, which who sleeps naked when you're at your parents' house if you're not married? Who sleeps naked at your parents' house?
I don't really like sleeping naked.
You don't even sleep naked in your own house.
I worry that there's going to be a fire or something. And what am I going to do? I'm going to have to get dressed first.
Impress the neighbors.
That's your worry.
Impress the neighbors.
I am only worried about my children.
Yeah.
Before I had children, I know
I would
worked
totally
worried
kill a
about
guy naked. Is what's going to happen. I sleep naked. You don't sleep. You sleep naked?
No.
Oh, because you're worried about.
Ever since, well,
I
Riley
have
won't let
kids
me
that
because
come into my room at night, but no, not
you gotta lock
naked.
that door, bud. So
I could lock the door. But
So he wakes up and he sits up and he looks over to the left and the door's wide open. Like we were both thinking it, but Kelsey goes, "Oh, definitely got to shut that." After already talking halfway through the movie, I guess that's the part where it's starting to get eerie. Oh, definitely got to shut that. Right after that, oh, I do not like this. These are great quotes.
these are Kelsey quotes.
Yeah, these are all Kelsey quotes. Oh, I do not like this. Screaming no and no over again. And then here's my favorite quote. After the movie's over, that was a great movie.
or when I get here and I was like, "Oh, you watched it? How was it?" She goes, "I'm obsessed."
Yeah, she loves it. She loves it. But she didn't know she loved it until the very end.
Yeah.
I'm telling
It's
you,
great.
there's people like...
And there were blood squirts and everything. And she was cool
there
with
was
it.
definitely blood squirts. She told me to mute it when he was drilling.
Oh, dang it. I told Riley there weren't a bunch of blood squirts.
Well, it's just at the end.
It's just the end.
What, she going to watch it?
Condensed within...
Yeah,
No,
it's
she's
very
not watching it.
condensed within 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I think it's not like a scary movie.
No,
Like,
that's what I was trying
it's
to
not
say.
like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Not
type
scary, not pop out from behind of things. Just
I only wrote down one quote, and I laughed so hard when she's got the gun. She cocks it, and the black dude takes off running. She goes, "Get him, Grandpa!"
Get him, Grandpa.
That's the funniest line in the whole movie.
I shared all my quotes.
Oh my gosh, I have so many.
I wish I would have written down Rod's rant about hypnotizing and Dahmer. I wish I would have had that.
Rod also at the very beginning is talking about how he got in trouble for patting down like a grandma or something.
Yes, at TSA.
Incorrectly. And he's like, just take my word for it. The next 9/11 is going to be some geriatric. And then Rod says at one point, and so I probably watch this movie a lot different than you guys because I've seen it so many times. But he says, you picked the wrong dude, right? And he's talking to Rose on the phone.
Yep.
It's like, oh, did he? Did he, Rod?
Oh.
Did she? Because this is
So
gonna
that's
be
why
really
I thought
bad.
that's why I thought the end was setting us up for something more, because
Like they're gonna get Rod too.
well, no, like Rod has something weird going on because Chris goes, "How'd you know how to get here?"
Yeah.
He basically is like, "How'd you know where?"
And he pauses before he
he paused
answers.
and he's like, "Oh, dude, TSA, man, we got all."
Yeah, he does pause. I wonder if Peele wants you to think Rod might be a bad guy.
Or maybe he was just leaving the door open for a sequel or something like that. But I definitely got that vibe for sure.
Let's see. The dad. He looks at him when they first get there. He's like, "So how long's this been going on? This thing, like trying to be cool."
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got kind of like Brian Ramsey vibe or something.
Oh, good old dad.
Like, I can just see that.
How about this
people
one?
Love making people sex slaves.
All right, how about this one? I want your eye, man. I want those things you see through.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of omens. There was a lot of, trying to tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, they
I'm an
straight
idiot.
up tell you what's happening. You
But-
just don't realize.
So like a quote from Bradley
that's
Whitford.
What's so cool about this.
A quote from Bradley Whitford. As soon as he's done talking about his dad losing to Jesse Owens, they walk into the kitchen and they talk about grandma, and he goes, "A piece of her is always here."
Yep.
Pointing
Exactly.
at the maid.
Yep. He's literally like, "A piece of her is always here." Yeah. I mean, I kind of have that for some of my hidden gems. How about when Rod goes to tell the cops, and he's telling them the story, and then she brings in the other cops like she's taking him really seriously.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
really
I knew that was
just to
happening.
laugh.
That was pretty good.
It's
You knew
really
that was
just to
happening.
laugh. And then it says, "White girls, they get you every time."
Well, speaking of that, to bring her full crazy to full circle, she goes, "You were one of my favorites." Like at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when you're like, all right.
They're dragging him
this girl
down the
dips
stairs.
Fruit Loops.
That they're like, which was one of my hidden gems. They mentioned that door being kept shut because of black mold,
Black mold. Yeah.
but then they never showed us. I guess is the basement where they were doing the
Yes.
procedure. Okay, so that he does come upstairs. Okay, that makes sense.
How about this? The last line I wrote down. I can't remember if it's the last line of the movie, but it's hilarious. He goes, "I mean, I told you not to go in that house." He's like all bloody. People are dead. He's like, "I mean, I told you so. Told you. Don't go in that
I
house."
think there's something more to Rod. I think there's something more to Rod. I don't know.
No, there's not more to Rod.
How do you know where?
There's the
don't know.
Brett take.
Brett is always trying to figure out this stuff. It's like,
For the
dude,
record.
there's nothing there. For the record.
For the record.
Gladiator 2 comes out soon, and we will know. What if I'm right? I just want to know. What if I'm right?
You're
We
not.
will never know. We will never
not
know
right.
because you're not right.
What if I'm right? What are you prepared to do?
It's not
name it.
cohesive with the movie.
Name it. You're
It'd
not
be
right.
like saying he might be Willy Wonka's son. It's the same realm. I could say that and be as close as you are to your hot take. It is possible that Lucius is Willy Wonka's son,
Did
and the mother is an Oompa Loompa.
Did Lucia's dad make out with Willy Wonka's wife?
20 years after he was born?
Exactly.
It's very possible Gene
Yeah.
Wilder made out with his wife.
You know, made out with his sister. I'm just saying. I have reason to believe. Hidden gems.
I got a hidden gem. Okay, so animal control does not do deer. That was a quote. I just want you guys to know that. The cop says, for the record, you're supposed to call animal control. That is not true. We had a deer in this neighborhood. This is a crazy story. We're walking, and it's me, Kelsey, and Haven. And we're walking after dinner one day. And just in a regular neighborhood in Indiana with, quarter lots. And I kid you not, we go up on these hedges. There's this massive dog just standing there that looks like a statue. And I'm like, holy cow, it's a huge dog. Not a dog, big old deer, jacked up leg, had jumped the fence, got stuck. And you know what deer do when they get stuck? They just like keep pulling until he just obliterates his leg. This deer had been limping around our neighborhood for an entire week. And the cops wouldn't put it down because if a cop discharges his weapon, it's like miles of paperwork, and if they hit something, like it's just game over for that cop. So they just kept ushering him around to different yards in our neighborhood.
Why don't you just call the DNR, bro?
Well,
Until finally,
also, go ahead.
Conservation
well, finally they're
officer.
supposed to get it out because they're just not coming out this way. The cops are supposed to get it out to like an area where they could either put it down or it would just die on its own. But they refused to shoot it. So this deer is just
This might be an Indiana versus New York thing, because Indiana, I could see animal control not taking care of it because everybody's got guns and they're going to eventually kill it anyway. In New York, it's like impossible to get a gun. So maybe it's a state legislated situation.
yeah, maybe.
But in Indiana, just so everybody knows, animal control not responsible for deer.
Yeah, too big.
I would have called the conservation officer.
Animal control will not.
You know what my uncle would have done?
do anything
That's
Shot
not
it
animal
and went
control, by the
and got it venison sticks made yesterday.
Yeah, he probably had disease because it had been walking around for like with an exposed leg for a week.
Cut off a leg.
Maybe.
Cut off a leg.
Maybe.
This thing looks sick.
Movie magic.
Oh.
Oh, tell me, Brett. Tell
And
me
I-
this awesome hot take.
And I think Marcus will be the one that can confirm this. When you had to wear a mask during COVID, was it not impossible to not cause your glasses to fog up?
Oh yeah, they
Horrible. Yeah,
there was
Depends on where you wear them and which kind you
dude,
wear.
he was wearing them right in the spot, and somehow his glasses didn't fog up when he was getting ready to
what
operate.
part of the movie is he wearing a mask in this?
when the
he's
dad
doing
is
surgery?
operating, doing surgery.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
movie
doctors
magic.
definitely wear masks
Amazing
and
special
glasses.
effects.
now
clearly.
he did have like the nose thing.
Oh, that helps.
Yo, yeah, that helps a lot.
Okay. All right. So
You
wait,
think thousands of doctors who have to wear glasses?
No, Rem, I don't. I just thought it was funny.
It was magic. It was magic, Rem, magic. It wasn't a real mask.
I also thought that the fire was actually going to destroy all the evidence that would make Chris prove that he isn't crazy.
Right.
And I thought the fire was going to ruin it, and then he was going to still go to jail because they're going to be like, "No, you just killed all these people. Get in our squad car." That was
Definitely a
good.
lot of loose ends at the end that they just assume the bad guys lose.
I have
and
another
good
hidden
guys
gem,
win.
but I can't read it.
It's the worst.
No.
That's the worst.
Love the something stuff. I had no idea. Can't tell what that word is. I just can't come up with it.
But yeah, being John Malkovich, you guys should watch that movie. It's a cult movie. Definitely not like a widely spread movie. A lot of
I'm
people don't
honestly
even know it
surprised I've
exists.
never watched it because
We should
I've
add it
wanted
to our
watch
list. If
it
we're gonna
for a
watch
while.
it.
Do you guys like John Malkovich?
I do.
He's great.
Yeah.
If we're gonna watch it, we should do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Time to rate. Any more hidden gems?
Well, hidden gems. We've talked about it a lot, but the Easter eggs throughout this entire thing. So now that you guys have watched it once, you should watch it a second time, knowing everything, and
Yeah.
you'll just pick up on thing.
This
after
is
thing
definitely
after
a
thing
better
after
the
thing.
second time kind of movie.
It's all over the place.
How
And
do you-
so
is it
That's
possi-
why I think it's a fun one to watch more than once.
What's funny is like it seems so simple to create a movie like this, but it's very possible you give away the ending with too many omens, too many clues, too many obvious clues. Like Fight Club, I didn't watch it as an adult for the first time, but like when I was a kid, had no idea that was coming.
Right.
I just think we love being tricked. Like we love
For
buying
sure.
into. So I think it's harder to do what you're saying than you might think.
That's why we talked about this before, but like the shows that really go down as great shows are the ones where you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Like season enders, episode enders, did not see it coming.
Yeah. Well, and I love this is because if you watch it and you're watching it and you know what happens, he's telling you what's going to happen the whole movie.
Who, Peele or Chris?
Peele is
Yeah.
telling you what's going to happen the whole movie.
Yeah, the comedian's
Rod
telling you what's going to happen.
literally is
Rod's
telling
telling you.
And you still are surprised.
Yeah.
Like it,
Yeah, I didn't know it was
It's
grandma until
awesome.
she said grandma.
It's
I had no
awesome.
clue.
Brett was really surprised. But
Does she say grandma?
I
Yeah.
don't
She's
think
like
that
she's like grandma. Like I feel like she says it like almost like grandma.
At what point?
No,
When-
no. She knows, so she is listening to her stuff. She hears something,
Oh.
and she takes it out, and she goes, "Grandma," because
Yeah.
she knows that Grandma is out there in trouble.
Uh-huh.
Like she's like, "Uh-oh, something's up with Grandma. I
Yeah.
gotta go help save her,"
Okay.
and that's
Yeah.
why she
Kid
gets
her
the gun.
grandpa.
Get him, Grandpa.
Get her.
Rating.
I haven't thought about this.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
I'm at 8 as well.
8.4.
I wouldn't have been upset if you said 8.9.
It was
very
really good.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. This face. He gets because of this role, he gets stopped at TSA all the time now.
Yeah.
Like he's got a very recognizable face because of how much the camera just focuses in on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about we talked about people who play roles. They're never the lead actors. They're always supporting cast. This guy right here.
Blind guy, right? You're talking about? Yeah.
Stephen Root.
Yeah, he's
Played Milton in Office Space, and ever since then he's been in like a ton of very
Stapler
small,
guy?
Yeah, Stapler guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was told there'd be Cake guy.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
He looks big.
He's played pivotal roles in shows and movies. I mean, he's in Dodgeball.
Yeah, he is.
He's a really funny character
He's
in Dodgeball.
funny in Dodgeball.
Time out. Oh
You
yeah.
gotta get angry.
But like he's one of those guys where you look at his
We
filmography.
just watched Dodgeball on Friday night. We had a
Really?
wedding Friday night. And we got back. It's like 9:30, and I was like, "You haven't seen this?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "We're doing it."
She never saw Dodgeball.
Oh man, it
What'd
was
she
so
think?
Great. She was
probably
like,
didn't like it that
she,
much.
she was like, she laughed a lot, but she was like, "So you guys love this movie?" Like, you
But see,
love
that's
it?
how she is with Hot Rod. She watched it at a time where it's really funny. Now she always thinks it's funny. But
Yeah.
if you watch it, it's like, that's not as funny as what you think it is.
Oh man,
Even though-
I won't tell the story on this show, but I think Marcus knows that I misquoted Patch O'Houlihan
Patches.
during a wrap up in my office one time. Misquoted, swapped out 2 words that were very unfortunate. Patreon
Patreon to find out. Oh, man.
All right.
Tell us about Patreon real quick before we sign off.
Patreon is your opportunity to get an inside look at the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We know for sure we're gonna have a level that you can pay to be able to listen to us do to review trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do, and then we got tons of other things in the works that we're thinking about. We're excited about. We'd love to hear from you guys. Honestly, what would you like to see? What would you like to see? We got behind the scenes opportunities. We know we want to get the wives involved at some point as well.
Yeah. Basically, it'd be nice. It does cost a little bit of money to do this. We're not looking to become rich and famous, except for Marcus. He wants to be rich and famous.
Yep.
But if we could cover expenses, that's why we're opening a Patreon, and it's fun to do. Like it'd be fun to put out some extra stuff out there for you guys, and that's why we're opening.
Yeah,
Patreon.
I mean, we could potentially, depending on like we could potentially up the production a little bit. We could potentially do more video
Film,
stuff like that. But we're enjoying this. We're enjoying having you guys listen. It's fun to talk to people at different places around town that have been listening to this. So we're enjoying it with you. Keep texting us or emailing us
Around
or
town, I was at, like I
messaging
said, the
us.
wedding I was at Friday.
Yeah.
I ran into a friend's parents who were in their late 60s.
Yeah.
And they go, "So how do I congratulate you?" I'm like, on what? They're like, "You're writing a book. You got your podcast. We listen to it every week." I'm like, "Which one?" They're like, "The cover." I'm like, "You're kidding me." Shout out to our friends from the great state of Ohio, the Dohertys.
Oh, nice.
From
That's great.
Cleveland.
But that's what I mean. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
Most of the feedback that I've been getting is it just feels like they're hanging out with us. People are watching the movies that we're putting out there and then listening. And so, hey, we're here for it, guys. Let us know how we can be better, or if you want to see specific movies. I mean, we plan on doing this for a long time. So
Yes, sir.
We're happy to do that. But if you want to help us, or if you want to help us to up the production value and stuff, there's ways that you can contribute a little bit. And we'd be grateful.
I think there ends up being a $5 level, $10 level on Patreon. What's next?
Ooh, we got the Donner Party.
Indifferent Stars Above.
We're going back to the same author.
Yeah,
His
we
Boys
like
in the
that
Boat.
author a lot.
And this book is fantastic as well. So.
Rem, in this moment, what percentage are you?
Just over 50.
Okay.
We got a week?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Well, I know
I'm
we
right in
haven't
the thick
decided
of the crazy.
Yeah, dude.
They're talking about
Dude, it's about
losing
to
weight. He
get-
just got
I couldn't
done.
put it down once it got to this point.
In chapter 8, he's talking about the amount of calories you need to eat to survive and what it takes in this time and to be cold and it's very fascinating. Actually,
So does he talk about hypothermia yet?
I haven't gone there.
Okay. Yeah, dude, it's oh man.
Yeah.
I don't want to re-listen to it.
I know. I totally understand what you're saying because I find myself like having the option to listen to it or just anything else. And if I'm like having like, if I'm trying to be upbeat, I'm not reading this book.
I want to know, but I don't gotta know. But I want to know.
Yeah.
I can't
Definitely.
wait for it to end.
Definitely.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. He just stabbed him with the deer
shoot.
antlers.
Impaled him with a deer antler.
What a great death. And by the way, why would you have candles on in your operating room?
Because they're crazy seance people. They're
man.
satanic.
Well, that is a cult.
Yeah.
So. Or an
Exactly.
order,
Bottom
I guess.
line, watch Get Out.
Yeah, great
You'll
movie.
enjoy it. Great movie.
So I had stats with you. I'm gonna have stats for you guys next episode.
Oh.
But what do you think is our least? I told you, so you can't guess. So Brett, what do you think our least successful show has been up until this point? This is part of me pleading for you to listen to this one episode. It must have just slipped your mind. Guess which one it was.
So
Brett?
Rem likes the episode.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, Marcus?
I think I remember. Yeah.
Is it Alda?
No.
No. What episode was?
It was my
Remington's
movie.
pick?
Oh. Why do I? Oh, Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Oh.
For whatever reason, people skipped over the podcast that
I
week.
think I might know why. It's a 6 out of 9. That's why. The podcast episode
is a 10
out of 10.
Really good episode.
The movie is
really good episode.
a 9 out
we
of
talked
9.
Brett into liking that movie.
So if you're done, if you're getting done listening to this one, go immediately to Casablanca and listen to that episode.
Or just don't, because I think it's funny that Remington's
it's
pick is down
hilarious.
so low.
Listen to it.
Here's looking at you, kid.